center off of Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot, far down, he scores!
Come from behind for a month, now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get it! Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries the play! Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Darby. Flag out.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Welcome into Awesome Friday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratenuto at Diablos00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you guys all know. See the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, as yesterday is Friday. Yes, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. On, like I said, on at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Also my IG, Michael.Caratenuto.5. Yes, you can check it out there. I know you guys all know that as well. And guess what? I know you awesome, phenomenal Pitchfork Lunchers know what I'm about to tell you. You can check it out on the YouTube channel. Watch it live on YouTube. Also, subscribe to the channel my channel when you're there. But all you have to do is go to YouTube, go to YouTube, and you guys know how to get there. And it's, you see my name, Michael Caratenuto, but it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. As again, anything you've missed, if you missed yesterday, again, doing something a little different, man, hit me up in the comments. Some people did. I know, bouncing around a little bit. But like I said, it was like, talking to a lot of the assistant coaches, getting to as many as I can. Yes, some of you said, oh, you didn't get to Hines Ward, and it was like packed around him, and offense went first, and then defensive coaches. So it was the, a time thing, fair enough. But yes, I didn't get to coach Ward, but we did get around. I get to Brian Ward, defensive coordinator, but again, we will at some point catch up with, and spring ball is coming up, so there'll be many of opportunity to do that. But yeah, if you missed yesterday's show, again, those of you that saw it, hit me up. Let me know what you thought, because again, I was able to stream the interviews, and you were able to watch, because again, technology, gotta love it when it works and it goes smoothly. But on my phone, I just joined the show on my phone and then turned the camera around, and bam, you saw the coaches, heard the questions. Like I said, it was scrum style, so it wasn't all my my questions, but I got quite a few in, and we heard even on other ones for great answers. So go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. You can watch that and all the other con reviews, and again, insiders, voices, alum, coaches, players, everybody, it is there. So again, at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, at MVC 005 on YouTube, and subscribe. You also missed swim and dive head coach. Well, I mean, alum, but first year as a head coach. He was an assistant here, but Herbie Bain was so kind enough, generous enough to join me the other day on Wednesday. Yeah, it was the other day on Wednesday. So yes, you can see that too. But for those of you watching, check this out. You guys all know that you can listen to Pitchfork Lunch on the best internet radio, the greatest internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. All you got to do is go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up, click listen live. Bam, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, hit play. There is Sun Devil content on the Casual Sports Radio Network. Big ups, and like I will always tell you, big ups and big shout out to Casual E for inviting Pitchfork Lunch in. And again, you can check out the show, like I said, 12 to 1. And those of you watching, see it scrolling across the bottom. So if you're going to meet your friends for lunch, or you're taking off work early on a Friday, on a rainy day Friday, again, we're all adults, but we go back to, elementary school, rainy day schedule, couldn't really go out on the playground because I didn't want everybody to turn the interior of the school into a big mess. But the good old rainy day schedule, you feel like, all right, I got work done. You're jamming out of work. You're going to go meet some people for some food, or maybe early sodas, whatever, early Sun Devil sodas. You can stream it live through your Bluetooth, because of course I want you to watch, but like I tell you, you're Sun Devils, you're smart. Don't watch and drive. Pay attention to the road, as I know you will. But yeah, if you but as you're driving, again, stream it through your Bluetooth. So just go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page will open up, click listen live, hit play, bam, Pitchfork Lunch. Then you get to where you're going. Yes, you can still listen, obviously, which would be phenomenal. Or again, you can watch on the other avenues, whether it be on X, IG, YouTube, whatever works for you. But again, be informed on Sun Devil in Sun Devil Nation. So, and plus, you got to subscribe, lastly, to the KSRN socials, because Casual E, not only did he invite us in to get Sun Devil content, but you want to talk about comprehensive coverage of the Suns, Diamondbacks, Cardinals, Mercury. Casual E has you hooked up. So again, subscribe to their socials, and you will be all hooked up. And then Monday through Friday, again, phenomenal Pitchfork Lunch, Sun Devil content as I take you inside and around Sun Devil Nation. So again, www.ksrnaz.com. Well, we are going to start with softball. Last night was absolutely phenomenal. Now, I probably should have filmed more of them, but let's just say the Devils get the win. They open up Big 12 play against BYU, and it was a phenomenal pitching duel. Last night, and oh my goodness, you guys. And yes, in baseball, you see a pitcher's duel, and yeah, there's some contact, but not much. And when it's a ton of strikeouts, you're like, holy wow, right? Like, okay. And the Devils are now 16-6, by the way, for Coach Bartlett, as they beat BYU, again, opening up conference play. BYU 1-0 last night. But it was Kenzie Brown, still a Sun Devil back on the mound. Love it. Kenzie Brown in the circle, taking on, or pitching against, I should say, but Kason Korth of BYU. Now, Kenzie Brown went all 7 innings, guys. Complete game. Softball, again, you see it. But you want to talk about the first inning, she gave up 2 walks, got out of it, right? And so, but she was so, after she got out of the top of the first, was just, and was dominant in the first, by the way. I will tell you that. But guys, 18 strikeouts for Kenzie Brown. Absolutely insanely phenomenal. And the Devils get the 1-0 win. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later, but got to give Kenzie Brown a big shout out there. Hey, we're going to take a quick break because like I told you guys a few minutes ago, Sun Devil assistant head coach and special teams coordinator, Charlie Ragle, kind enough to join me today. Didn't get to catch up with him yesterday, but he knows I'm a little bit of a slacker, so he always hooks me up. So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Coach Ragle right here on Pitchfork Lunch.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
Are you good?
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean Conn.
Bird gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those joining me on the Casual Sports Radio Network, it is the best internet radio station on the web. We come to you all over the world, all over the web, and we're Sun Devils. We should. So I've been bringing in this, again, our next guest, a great friend of the program, a phenomenal coach, but even better, a phenomenal human being who, and I always say it when he's on, and you guys know this, like if I had 1 year of eligibility left, if he would let me play for him, I know I could return a few kicks for him, and maybe even kick off if needed, because the soccer is still in me. But we are now bringing in Sun Devil assistant head coach and special teams coordinator Charlie Ragle. Coach, hey man, thanks for taking the time, man. I greatly appreciate you. And man, it's what is it? It's Arizona, man. We're not supposed to have a rainy day in the spring like this.
You're not supposed to be able to kick off spring break, as our Friday, as we go into spring break here, wrapping up the office and starting the spring break, and it should not be raining out. That's not the way it should be here. That's for sure.
I know. I mean, I kid because, man, I remember, just about 5 or 6 minutes ago when we were both in college, there was only 1 year of spring break. Our first 3 days when we went to Rocky Point, it actually rained on us, Coach. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but that's kind of a bummer. I should say the first 2 days it rained on us, but it didn't stop the fun, as the good innocent fun we had in Rocky Point.
Absolutely.
But hey, let's get to it. So I see today the Big 12 adjusted the schedule. I want to get to this first. So the Arizona game back on a Friday, which I'm always a big fan of, just because I love sorry, I shouldn't say love right before I say that school. I love beating them down on a Friday, on a Thanksgiving weekend, right after Thanksgiving. It's awesome. No, but also TCU is on a Friday. And I know we've talked in the past before, and look, you're going to play when you're going to play. And I know college football, Thursday nights, Friday nights. But I don't know. Friday is always with high school. And as long as you've been coaching in college, I mean, are you, again, obviously excited to play, but is it always kind of a little bit of you like, man, it's high school night. Let's let the high school kids have Friday.
I think initially there's always that feeling for sure. But I do love in the fact that, this is one of the great things when you work for Coach Dillingham is that, usually when we play those Thursday or Friday night games, that we're going to get that Saturday off. So and I'm not going to lie, for selfish reasons, man, to be able to go see my son play because he's playing Pop Warner on Saturdays and spend time around the family. I love playing those Friday games. And then obviously playing Arizona the day after Thanksgiving on Friday. I mean, that to me, that's always, not always, but it's been a big back a long ways. When I think of that game, as a kid and coming here and visiting my family over the holidays and then playing, having Thanksgiving, then that game being played on a Friday, that's what Arizona State, means to me. So I'm super excited to have that game on a Friday. And then again, selfishly, you get a condensed Thanksgiving on Thursday because, it's, now that changes everything, right, for us. Because before, like, your Thursday was your kind of your down day as a coach, and you would get to celebrate Thanksgiving, with your family. Now you're at the hotel, the team is, everything is condensed. So, but it does allow you to enjoy that weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, that Saturday and Sunday with your family. So I'll take that for sure. There's a lot of pluses with that. I was excited to see those two Friday games.
Yeah. And, Coach, it's funny because when you say the Friday game with Arizona, I remember it was quite a few years back, but when the Pac-12, for some reason, there was a off-balance schedule, and we actually they played Arizona, but it was literally like that next Saturday because everybody was playing everybody. And you would have thought I was a little kid that just got coal in stockings for Christmas and under the tree. My friends were like, how old are you? I'm like, and I said exactly what you just said, Coach. I'm like, it's tradition. Like, okay, if they push it to Saturday, I guess I'd be okay. But a week later, like, no, that game cannot be played a week later.
No, but, just certain things you can't budge on, man. That's Arizona State. That's reserved for Fridays or Saturdays for sure after Thanksgiving.
Coach, let me ask you this too, because looking at the schedule, and I thought about this last time I talked to you, I realized, but obviously, two seasons ago, 8 home games was very spoiled. Last season, a little more realistic, but there's a point in the schedule you have back-to-back home games, but there's no back-to-back road games this year, man. So the schedule gods shined happy on the I should say reigning Big 12 champions.
No, you gotta love that, right? The ability to get back-to-back home games is huge. You can never, you take as many of those as you can get, and then not have to go on the road back-to-back weeks. Somebody's looking out for us. That's for darn sure.
Well, hey, me as a homer, I'll just say it's about damn time because sometimes the schedule's been, as very interesting. But as coaches, I know you attack it head on. But talking to the coaches yesterday, look, and we talked a little bit when you brought guys in through the portal and recruiting had wrapped up. But, man, in the weight room, I've seen some guy. Man, I bumped into CJ Fight, Coach, and I was like, oh, my God. I'm like, I know you guys work out, but, man, he looks like he was big last year. He's looking like he's ready to tear some heads off. But just with what the guys have done in the offseason and the guys that you've brought in, how do you feel that they've meshed so far? And I guess how excited are you to get back on the field for spring ball?
Well, I think, again, that's what we're here for, is to coach football, right? And I think anytime you can get out and get that work on the field with the team is obviously, a bonus, right? It's what we want to do. I think the guys have come in and have worked hard, and now we're going to find out. Again, we're not recruiting them to be weightlifters. We're recruiting them to be strong, applicable football players. And Joe does a great job, and his staff of having that transfer to the field. But now we're going to find out over the next, when we come back from spring break and then another week. But we'll start to put on the pads and get to find out what these guys can do in terms of playing football. So it's exciting.
Oh yeah, it's and this will be the last day of rain. No rain during spring ball. That's all I have to say. When you look at, obviously, the year that Sam had last year, and he got to grow into that quarterback, and obviously you guys Coach Dillingham, Coach Roy, you guys saw like the talent that was there. But now that he's obviously a full season and going to be here, and I know he was here for spring ball last year, but man, what are some of the things you've seen from him just in a leadership growth and just how he's, obviously meshed with the rest of the team and the transfers that are coming, whether it be running back or receivers, that he's just kind of taken the reins and just been that leader for the team?
Yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, like, historically guys make their biggest transition in playing from year 1 to year 2, right? You're no longer a quote freshman. I know he played a few games at Michigan State, right, as a true freshman, but playing and being the guy, this was his first year. I think the game's going to slow down for him. Marcus's ability to get him, seeing another dimension, if you will, just being elevated. And, again, I think the game itself slowing down for him and making, better decisions as you get older and more mature. I think that's what you expect from him. I think that the guys all know that that's, when it comes to the offense, that's the leader, and we're going to go as far as Sam will take us. So when you have a guy that has his ability and had the year that he did as a redshirt freshman coming back, it's good to be us.
Oh, absolutely. Coach, to piggyback off that too, I was asking, I asked pretty much everybody yesterday, but like Coach Iguano, Coach Arroyo, even Coach Mons and Coach Tuitele about this. Like last year, teams obviously as competitors, like, the outside world and the wonderful, talking heads like me will say, oh, this team, should beat this team, which, me, I usually don't, because I'm like, you got to play the game. But teams are obviously preparing for you, but you're picked to finish last. Don't really have a target on your back. Guys put in the work, and every week it just builds and builds. But coming in, and I know it's spring ball, but coming in, teams in the Big 12 are getting back to it. Now the Sun Devils have the target on that back. How fun is that for you? And inevitably, I mean, what's the challenge in making sure that, the players kind of have that same little chip and that same little just drive to keep going? But now the Devils have the target on their back.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the challenge, is that they have to understand that this isn't about complacency. Complacency will get you, average record. You know what I mean? Like there's a vast difference of being the hunter versus the hunted. And, the expectations are obviously drastically different. I just think that when you look at that, I think the expectations, of us, to win and win at a high level this year changes it completely. But I think if you really focus on that piece, you're missing the greater objective. I think at the end of the day, as a player, it's how good can I be? What am I pushing myself for? And then collectively as a team, we know if we do those things and we work and we play at a high level, the results will take care of themselves. We can't have a down day. That I think that's the difference. I think, at times last year, you might have been able to get away with a down day because people weren't expecting, you to be what you were. But when they expect you, to whom much is given, much is expected. Yep. And so these guys have to understand that the expectations and the game has changed. You have to elevate your work ethic and your mindset. But if you're a competitor and you're a player, you're a champion, that's what you do.
And speaking of competitive, I mean, ask Coach Iguano, because it seems like, and as a staff, I know you do a phenomenal job of recruiting, but since he's been here, the running backs that he's got in and to see one step up, and now that are in the room, and I know obviously Cam, earned it, was the bell cow last year, and Sip was just kind of there and played well. But I mean, again, and that's your guys' job to bring guys in for competition. But the guys that he has in that running back room, like, from when you're looking at it, I mean, how do you see that competition breaking down? And I gotta think it's exciting to see that depth and talent. I mean, I was teasing him. I know the running back he brought in from Army, Coach. I'm like, well, I'm sure Coach T had a big part of that. He's like, yeah, Army guys can come over here. But I mean, it's just a deep room, and for you guys, I mean, and getting multiple backs on the field is going to be huge too. But man, what is Coach Iguano doing? I mean, is he giving you the tricks of his trade?
Well, I mean, listen, if you know Sean and you know what Sean's about people and relationships. And that's what, probably drew me to Sean early on when we we formed a relationship and a friendship, a long time ago. One, he's a hell of a coach. What he did at Chandler is, is remarkable. But he did that not just because of the the coach that he is, from an X's and O's standpoint. He did that with what he talks about, the Ohanas, the family, but the relationships. And I think that's the one thing when you look at both of those guys, Sean and Jason, and myself, the one thing between the three of us that we share, probably greater than any, and I think they would all, in fact, I know they would all agree with this next statement, is our commitment to family and loyalty. And I just think when you talk about family, respect, and loyalty, there's no greater guy that demonstrates that than Sean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I always say to you guys, and people think, oh, you're just like, oh, you always say that to him. I go, you got to understand. I go, when you're a young reporter and if you ask a ridiculous question, you're kind of sitting there hoping that the coach won't think that you're crazy. I said, but man, Coach Iguano, I go, Coach Ragle, I go, even Coach Bond's so welcoming. Like, oh yeah, just sit down. And I go, I would ask things. I go, I try not to ask terrible things, and I'd have notes. And I go, man, it's easy to see. I go, success isn't easy, but it's easy to see how you guys have had it and grown. Let me ask you this too, defensively, man, the job that obviously the growth and, the D-line, but the linebackers last year, I know last spring, even into fall camp, Coach Coop's unit came in as a little bit of a, there's some talent there, some players there, but it was a little bit of a question. By the end of the season, they definitely answered that question, because no matter what pairing he had on the field, it worked out well. How did you see those linebackers grow, and how do you feel that with their growth, the rest of the defense was able to grow?
Well, I think when you look at, and you talk about, elite defensive play, defensive football, I don't think you can really be a good functioning football team if, to me, when you talk about the human body, you got your upper body and your lower body, right? But really the abs, the abdominal, the middle piece, what we call the keys to the kingdom, right? You're only as strong as your core, right? Or your lower body or upper body will topple. That's what the linebackers are, in my opinion, to defensive football. Some people like to call it the spine, but to me, they're the keys to the kingdom. They connect everything. They connect and they communicate with the D-line. They turn around, and they connect with the secondary. I think what Koopa's done with those guys over the last 2 years, but especially this past year, not only coaching them, but recruiting and continuing to enhance the talent in that room, has shown and is a testament to the job that he's done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I even asked, Coach Reynolds about that yesterday. And speaking of D-line, Coach, did you see the video of your two very talented and athletic D linemen, CJ Fight and Jacob Rich-Kungaika, playing a little bit of working out with the women's volleyball team?
Yes, I did. And I only watched about 15, 20 seconds of it. I turned it off, and I hadn't had a chance to tell them yet, but they probably need to stick to the old oblong shaped pigskin.
I knew I'd get an honest answer for you. No, I mean, look, they were showing him some stuff, and there was actually, it took about 3 or 4 in the video. It took about three or four, but they actually, when they were the front row, the block, they actually slid over in unison. The girls coached them up quite well, but I'm with you.
Yeah, but see, what you didn't know is that was the 30-second take for that. They cut all that other stuff out.
Absolutely. No, there was one edit though where CJ was trying to return a serve, and he's like, and he gets it, and he's like, ow, and he's walking away. He's like, man, that hurt. And I'm like, oh man, your teammates are going to give you hell about that one.
The guy just squatted like about a ton in the weight room this morning. You know what I mean? And he's over here complaining about a volleyball. Come on, man.
No, it's awesome. Speaking of that, I mean, look what you in volleyball started. I mean, obviously first year in the Big 12 champions, and then I know, like I said, you guys are busy doing your thing, but I know you see in the department, man, not just men's, but men's and women's swim and dive, go to the Big 12s and absolutely dominate. I mean, I know I asked you this before, but like, man, when it starts off in the fall, and I get, obviously the excitement, the love, the passion for football, but like what you guys have done there, what Coach Van Niel has done, but man, when you see more, I guess, trophies coming home, how exciting is that around the building?
No, I mean, I just think, success breeds success. I learned a long, long time ago that association breeds assimilation. You want to win, you hang out with winners. And I just think that when you can get to set the tone early in the year with volleyball and football, two of the first sports to get going in the fall, that's a great way to get it going. And then for obviously the men's and women's swim and dive to finish, to end up as Big 12 champions as well. That's 4 in the bag for the Sun Devils this year. That's a heck of a start to Big 12 conference play, in our first year.
Well, absolutely. And Coach, I'm obviously not going to get out of here before this. I know tomorrow you're getting the award, which again we sat down and talked about. I played your presser on here and about being with family, but to be recognized like that, like you always said, it takes a village. But I've always being outside of it, having grown up playing, but even being outside of it, seeing it takes a coach's vision to turn whether you come in and things are down and you turn it into a winner. But just the connections you've always made with the players. I know obviously it's awesome, and your family obviously deserves a lot of the award too, because I know during football season it's like your wife's like, I think I have a husband. He's somewhere around. But I mean, just again, I mean, congratulations on it. But I mean, what does it mean to you? And I mean, the relationships you've built throughout the years and have been able to keep and grow, and to have it culminate into an award like this, which is well earned and well deserved. What does it mean to you, Coach?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. I just got a text. I'm really excited, fired up, obviously, for the award. But my daughter is in her junior year playing softball, and she was actually going to have to miss it tomorrow because she had a game. And I just found out that the game got canceled. I'm assuming because of the rain and the fields. So she's going to actually be able to make it. And so that really, is exciting for me. Again, I'm just, very, very humbled. And I know I keep saying that, and very gracious in winning this award. It means the world to me. The impact that, people feel that strong enough to award you with an award that is, signifies the name Frank Cush on it, a winner. And a lifetime achievement award in what I've done here in the state of Arizona. It's really hard to put into words without getting emotional, because it's just, that's, I think when you get into this and you do it as long as I have, you realize that it truly is about the people, the relationships that you build, the players. Obviously, you wouldn't be anything without them. Those are why, for 25 years I've continued to do it, is because of those relationships, because of those people. I'm sitting in here with a former player of mine who's a very successful agent, an hour ago, and talking about his kids now, and just those kind of things. Again, they're so gratifying. And tomorrow will be a culmination of a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices, as you mentioned, made by my family. And I'm very grateful, not only to have my immediate family there. I've got probably 12 or 13 guys that I coached with over my career that are going to be there, and probably 40 plus family members. So, again, very humbled and honored to be the award recipient this year. And it's something that, I will take with me the rest of my life.
Well, like I said, it's well earned and well deserved. And I mean, I know it's and somebody said to me, he was like, he's not retiring, is he? I go, oh no, he has no. I go, he hasn't told me anything. I said, but he's going to keep coaching. But for, like you said, the relationships, and just even, like I said, talking to some of your ex-players. And I mean, I learned that from a good friend of ours too, Coach Kirsting, because I can't tell you how many times I bumped into people that played at GCC or played even, at Phoenix College or Scottsdale, but especially Glendale, like talking about Coach Kirsting to me, like they're like, oh, you called the game, or you did this or that. Even when I was talking to Coach Cooper last year, but they all go back to something that Coach Kirsting did. And he obviously echoed the same thing you just said. Like, yeah, you got to be able to coach these players up and care about football. But if you don't, as you've always said, you learn early on, if you don't care about them, they're never going to understand the why, and they're never going to be bought in. So,
well, and I think at the end of the day, I think as a great coach, you're a connector, and you have to be a connector of people first before you can ever connect on the X's and O's basis. You have to connect from an internal point of view and touch something inside of those young people that you work with. And once you do that, then the rest becomes so much easier. But without that, you'll never reach the pinnacle of greatness. And I think all great coaches are connectors.
Well, like I said, you've done a hell of a job, and hell, even connecting me with your team and not thinking that I was a clueless reporter that admitted to not knowing everything about football, except maybe when it came to kicking early on, because the soccer got the best of me when we would have those conversations. But Coach, hey, thanks so much for jumping in. I appreciate it. Enjoy, the beginning of spring break. Hopefully this rain subsides, and I'll see you in a little bit for spring ball, man. I'm stoked.
You got it, brother. Always a pleasure, man, and take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Go Devils.
That's awesome. Coach Ragle right there, man. Absolutely awesome. Assistant head coach, special teams coordinator. You heard him right there. Coaches will talk about it. It can't just be tongue-in-cheek. It is about relationships. No matter how big the sport, no matter how big, obviously football, basketball, baseball, you still got a huge amount of, swim and dive, Coach Payne. I mean, two teams. Like it's understanding. It's, but connecting and, to connect with the athletes. And again, we've heard Coach Shillingham say, like, sometimes the right thing is saying no. Like, you might have to say no, and somebody might not be the right fit, but they're here, they're doing it, they're in it. And Coach Ragle, to be the Arizona selection for the Distinguished Award from the Arizona Football Foundation is, again, just well-deserved, well-earned. So again, thanks to Coach Ragle. Absolute forks up to him for joining us here. We're going to take a quick break. When I get back, we are going to go back to softball and Kenzie Brown's absolute domination. 18 strikeouts. Yes, guys, we'll let that sink in. 18 strikeouts last night. More Pitchfork Lunch coming up.
KSRN has the inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
Are you good?
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound of a...
Got it
big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, you are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Those joining me there, forks up to you. Again, hope you enjoyed the conversation there with Sun Devil assistant head coach and special teams coordinator Charlie Ragle, who has, again, done a phenomenal job. Obviously, like you said, I mean, coaching, through the high school levels here, longest time at Chaparral, winning a few state championships, and did a lot of just winning in general. But again, building of the, like you said, relationships with the players. So again, forks up. Thank you so much, Coach, for jumping in here on a Friday here on Pitchfork Lunch as we roll on. But yeah, a lot going on. Again, have spring break first, then we'll have spring ball. Years ago, little story. I remember there was sometimes, and not all staffs would do it, but there was a few times like there would be practices like right before spring break, and then have spring break off and come back and then finish up spring ball, which I get it, because in a way it's like you're sending practice for, you get a lot of returners, but for continuity, it's kind of like, I wonder. But again, players will do their thing. But yeah, so this year, like I said, after spring break, which again, with this early in March with spring break, it's not a bad thing, because yeah, like I said, today is technically the last day of class, but I'm sure a lot of people didn't have a lot of classes may have started spring break a little bit early if they were allowed to. But anyway, I digress. I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. See Pitchfork Lunch live every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also my IG, Michael.Caratino.5. The YouTube channel, you got to go to YouTube and subscribe. You can binge watch, again, season 1 and now to this deep point of season 2. Go to YouTube. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. And of course, the Casual Sports Radio Network, again, Casual E, inviting Pitchfork Lunch in to be a part of the KSRN family. So absolutely awesome. But all you have to do is go to www.ksrnaz.com. Click listen live. Page opens up. Click listen live. Hit play Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Bam! There's Pitchfork Lunch. So that being said, but yeah, talking to Coach Ragle is great. Talking about winning. Well, last night, ASU, this weekend, they're taking on BYU, and BYU doesn't, they don't have Sunday games. So instead of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Devils win 1-0. Kenzie Brown, like I said before, Coach Ragle came on, absolutely unbelievable. Kenzie Brown, complete game, 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, obviously no runs, none earned, 18 strikeouts. Let that sink in. 18 strikeouts. She did have 4 walks. 2 of those came in the first inning, and then after that it was sporadic. And she, yeah, like I said, 18 strikeouts, absolutely insane. She threw 131 pitches. But man, just dominating. And then you look at it, I mean, the first 5 innings, there is no score, both teams, and Case and Korth for BYU. I mean, was 8-0 coming in. Now she's 8-1. Kenzie Brown now is also 8-1. But Case and Korth, I mean, she came in 8-0 with a 0.27 ERA. Like, that is, I know, for those of you, I should have thrown that by Coach Ragle, huh? Those of you that know, I mean, obviously that is insane. But we get to the bottom of the sixth, and we're like, oh man, how long can this go? This pitcher's duel, because the Devils made some contact at the ball, but at the same time, it was crazy to me because I mean, there's some contact, and the Devils altogether had 4 hits. BYU, again, only 2 hits off of Brown. But, yeah, I mean, sometimes, like Coach Bartlett has said, the ball just doesn't drop. But you hit it right to the defense. Pardon me. So, but this right here, which I'm about to pop up, those listening on KSRN, again, I'll describe it for you. You shall hear it. But the freshman, Tiare Ho Ching, man, she came up, and last night she was she got 2 hits. She was 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. Well, how can you say, wait, they only scored 1 run and she had the RBI? Well, I know you guys are quick. I know you get it. But this was her dinger in the bottom of the 6th. And man, yeah, I'm going to play it. We'll see it. I'm going to play it twice. But those listening on KSRN, don't worry. I got a little PvP skill. I can describe for you. But yeah, here is the pitch from 4th, and again a little high. And Tiare Ho Ching just crushed it. And it was a line to crush it. I'll play it again. I don't even know if it's going to hit the top of the wall because I'm looking at it. But yeah, for those of you, again, watching, those of you listening, again, Korth pitched obviously a ridiculous game too, but this pitch a little high, and I'll pause it. Yeah, I mean, it was right. Yeah, right. Oh, wait, hold on. Well, I'll let it play. I don't have a replay machine, so slow-mo doesn't really work too well. But look at this pitch by Korth back. I mean, it rises, and it's literally like a little bit above the belt, and he gets a hold of it, and it's line grab, and you guys see how it barely just cleared the wall. One more time. Gets it right there, and it's like dropping. I thought it was going to hit the top of the wall, and have like a double, maybe maybe could have got a triple. Well, yeah, she got all 4 bases, and you can see her so pumped up coming around. Celebrating with her team there, and Tiare Ho Ching delivers the 1 run, and then this is again 18 strikeouts. I mean, Kenzie Brown. Like if we look at this, is crazy. You guys will appreciate this too. If we look at so Kenzie Brown by inning, she walked the first 2 batters. Like I told you, well, I didn't say the first 2, but she walked 2 batters in the first 2. Then she struck out the next 3. Ends the inning. So 5 batters, 2 runners stranded, second and third. Beautiful. Second inning, she strikes out the first batter, gives up a single. And then the 8-hole batter flies out, and then she strikes out the number 9 batter. Go to the top of the 3rd. Boom, boom, boom. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. So after that, she's got 8 strikeouts through 3 innings. Like, okay, man, that's pretty good. Go to the 4th. Gives up a single, strikes out the next 3. There's 9, 10, and 11 strikeouts, right? Then we go to the 5th. Gives up a walk, fly out to 8th, strikeout, walk, strikeout. So I laugh because it's like you think, oh man, giving up walks, like they're get to her, they're gonna get to her, and she just fired, just threw just absolute flames. I mean, she had a breaking pitch that was an off-speed pitch. I'd have to ask Coach Bartlett. I should have asked last night, but I mean, she threw a lot. There was an off-speed pitch that, I mean, it was just so nasty because we're like, oh, it's way out of the strike zone. It dropped literally before it got to the plate to where it crosses. It just boom, came, and the batter had no chance, like zilch, no chance. But So through 5 innings, she had 13 strikeouts, and then in the 6th, she has 14 and 15 as she strikes out the first 2, and they fly out to And then in the 7th, how do you cap it off? I don't know, just like she did the 3rd inning. 1, 2, 3, all Ks, 18 strikeouts. It was insane to watch, and so she threw 131 pitches, 80 of them were strikes. Her ERA dropped to 0.84 after this game. Just insane. And yeah, I mean, but this is, I got a little treat for you guys, especially that are watching. Here is Kinsey Brown's 18th and final strikeout. And man, like I said, her stuff was just, it was okay. I should take it back. It normally is nasty. I mean, she's been, again, through a lot, and we'll hear from Coach Bartlett. Ooh, we will not. This is going to wrap it up. But here is Kinsey Brown's 18th and final strikeout. So for those listening on KSRN, again, she just delivers it, and it's a ball that trails away, but the plate, and the runner thought she had a walk, tried to sell it. And some umpires, I mean, again, get it? You're making sure that they are always slow on their strike button to get the strike. It's always very delayed. But yeah, for those of you, again, watching, I mean, just look at this. I mean, 131st pitch, and look at it. Yes, gas as it tails away from the lefty batter. Oh, yeah. He didn't agree with it, but again, the batter he is come forward. Kinsey Brown forks up the wins last night. Just absolutely phenomenal. 18 strikeouts, 131 pitches. Yeah, that's that, my friends, is to overstate the obvious. That, my friends, is domination, right? As we all know. But yeah, we will get to Coach Bartlett really quick. We'll cap it out on, actually, you know what? No, well, you know what? Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I just thought of something. Pardon me. Yeah, that was. Let's hear from the winning pitcher. Yes, let's hear from Kinsey Brown, who just absolutely demolished the BYU lineup, which, again, they came in at 14-4. So again, no slouch whatsoever at all. Yep. All right, here we go.
I think just staying composed. I need to do a better job at not getting excited. That's all that was. But just dialing in and doing what I do best.
Speaking of dialing in, I mean, when you start getting in that rhythm and just constantly strikeout after strikeout, is it just kind of like blackout area? Just like keep throwing the ball, just get ball, throw ball?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I didn't even know that I had that many strikeouts until after I was done. But I had full trust in my pitches and Sam behind the plate for sure, and my defense, but my ball just happened to work for me tonight.
Now, granted, you're not hitting, obviously you guys aren't hitting, you and the other pitcher aren't hitting each other, but when you see another pitcher coming in doing that too, how much more does that pump you up?
Wait, I'm sorry, what was the question?
you're obviously not hitting against their pitcher, but I mean, she came in, she's pretty dominant too. She's having a dominant night.
Yes.
As you go along in the game, how much more does that pump you up?
I knew it was going to be a battle. I know that girl is good, but I know that I'm also good, but just staying dialed into the plan is really what worked for me tonight.
How does it feel having broken your own record and tied another Sun Devil record? And how do you feel overall after your performance tonight?
Honestly, like I said, I had no idea until after the game was already over, so I don't think that it's sunk in yet. But it's a definite blessing for sure.
Second straight complete game. Like, what is continuing to work for you in this run that you're on?
I think my team for sure. They're doing a great job at scoring runs when we need it. Like Tiade's hit, that was clutch. But having different tools to work with, it's keeping hitters off balance for sure.
So piggyback off that, when you saw TR, did you think it was going to go out when it was first hit?
No, I thought. It was crushed. I thought for sure it was going to hit the fence. I just didn't realize how high it was. But I was excited for her. I did not think it was going to go out.
Good. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. Little sideways. But that is a picture right there. I mean, like I said, she was kind of to the point. She was dominating. Defense behind her, awesome. So we're going to get out of here, though. That was Kenzie Brown. Again, absolutely phenomenal game last night. So forks up to that performance. And they do have BYU again tonight at 6 p.m. Also, baseball is taking on Gonzaga. They're opening up their 3-game series because they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Baseball is taking on Gonzaga tonight, and first pitch is at 6:30 p.m. at Phoenix Muni. So you can see it on ESPN Plus, AM 1060 as well on the radio. So Friday versus Gonzaga. Tonight, like I said, 6:30 p.m. Get on out there and root for the Devils. Again, Phoenix Muni, you have multiple choices as, like I said, softball starts at 6, so we can either hit softball up, hit baseball up. Either way, be in Sun Devil Nation for that. Also, I know I didn't touch on it much this week. Obviously, hockey, they don't play this weekend, but they will be playing next weekend at Mullet Arena. But we'll get into that and hopefully be getting more sound. Not hopefully, we'll be getting more sound from hockey as well. So that is in the next week. Also, men's hoops tomorrow night, Texas Tech, 6:30, 6 o'clock. Men's hoops wraps up. It'll be senior night, and yes, they will be playing Texas Tech at 6 p.m. Not 6:30. Sorry, 6 p.m. is tip-off number 9. Texas Tech, who they owe a little payback to. I've touched on that. We've talked about that, but nonetheless. So again, you have a lot to get to this weekend in baseball. Like I said, baseball at 6 tonight, 6 tomorrow night, and 1 p.m. Or no, that's softball. Sorry, it was 6 tonight and 1 tomorrow, and then for baseball with Gonzaga, it is 6:30 tonight and tomorrow night, and then 1 p.m. On Sunday. So again, all your chances to get out there. But we'll have, again, recap of the weekend, everything on Monday. But everybody have a most phenomenal weekend. Hopefully the rain's done. The sun's out right now. So, again, I want to give a big shout out to Coach Ragle, Sun Devil assistant head coach and special teams coordinator for joining us. And coming on the show, again, joining us, absolute forks up to Coach Ragle. And Coach Boehm earlier this week too. Obviously, men's and women's swim and dive again. So, congrats to that. So stoked he was able to take the time, come on the show. Again, you guys got to hear it, but yes, they are champs. So I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have the most phenomenal rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow, Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, like reigning Big 12 women's volleyball champs always remind me of #OurState. And yes, as always, you guys know I have a phenomenal weekend. Let's go Devils. Let's get some big wins and keep it rolling. And yes, as always, Forks out.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. And Bubba will put it up. Throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a way. Evidence McAvoy trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down. He scored.
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls up.